Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? My name's Craig Otto. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, and today we're going to do some follow-up for the second video of the White Belt training series I've been putting together. As I said for the video one follow-up, I make follow-up a huge part of my standard practice, and it's not just for training. I do it in everything I do. I find that follow-up really enhances the personal integrity, so it's very important. If you haven't seen part one follow-up, or part two of my series of white belt training, be sure to check those out. It is best to see those before you see this. However, since you're here, you may as well watch it for now. I think I'll make it pretty understandable for you. So let's do a quick review of the last video's key points. The first thing we talked about is waste is non-value activity and can be found in all types of operations, activities, and applications. Thanks to those who identified a defect, a type of waste in my previous presentation, where it says types of operations, it said types or operations. So thanks for pointing that out. Always looking to improve. The next point was that we must learn to identify waste before it can be eliminated. And the goal is to flow value to meet our customer needs. And value is changing the form, fit, or function of a product or service. And so from there, I gave you guys some homework, and that is what this is about, is to follow up with your homework. You should have documented some examples of each type of waste in your personal life and in your professional life. So hopefully you was able to do that. What I will do is give you an example here so that you can kind of measure up to and compare, was you able to identify the waste like you thought? And then also I asked you to quantify and measure how much time is spent on each waste in your life and at work. And so, once we dig into today's session, I'm going to give you an example, kind of like a case study in case you had some trouble. But first, let's do a quick review of the waste. As I mentioned the last time, when defining the forms of waste, I like to use the acronym downtime to help me remember. The first one is defects. Second one is overproduction, and then waiting, non-utilized resources, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. So just real quickly, I'll touch on an example of each. Obviously, defects, and I'm going to stick with the production side here. Defects would be making something incorrectly, right? It's a defective part. You have to rework it. It could be scrapped. The next waste, overproduction. This will be building more than your customer needs. This will tie up cash. This will tie up resources to transport and move these extra products that you've built. It will allow or not allow other areas that need parts from your department to not get those parts. So it's really, overproduction really inhibits flow, and it's honestly the worst waste there is because it creates so many other wastes. The next one is waiting. That's pretty obvious, right? You're waiting on parts, you're waiting on the next department to give you what you need to start. Non-utilized resources. This could be technology. This could be people, not utilizing people for their talent and skills and capabilities. It could be software related. The next one is transportation. This is different than motion. Transportation is specifically focused on the product itself being transported. So that could be, moving it from site to site. On semis, it could be moving it within the factory on forklifts or what have you, in that type of manner. Now, inventory really is the word lean manufacturing came from inventory. The idea is inventory represents the quote fat of the business, and you want to lean that out. You want the least amount of inventory as possible because inventory ties up your cash. When you have a lot of inventory, you're putting money into the raw materials. You're putting money into your folks to work on it, right? The labor, and all of that ties your money up and you're not able to invest it and or use it on something you want to use it on, purchase your capital, it just really ties that your capabilities and versatility up, and that's why it's so bad. The next waste is motion. This is the biggest waste from an individual standpoint. This is the one that most people have within their control. And this is all about the distance between your tools and your parts. To do your job, the more distance there is, the more motion you're going to have. The more you can reduce distance, the greater reduction in time you're going to have, and obviously eliminate waste. And then the last one is extra processing. This is really going above and beyond when it's not necessary. If you're not getting paid to go above and beyond to make something perfect, and it takes a long time, you're just adding more cost to a product that it isn't necessary to do that, because the customer doesn't need it, and nor do they want to pay for it. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over to a case study. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Welcome to the Gemba. Today we're going to step inside my kitchen here, and I'm going to show you a process, and we're going to identify some waste as we go through that process. I'm going to actually marinate some chicken, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I need the chicken first, so let me see if it's in the fridge. So my chicken's out in the garage fridge. Hold on 1 minute. So you can see I have a 10-pound bag of chicken. Alright, that's a lot. It's a lot of chicken. Let's go ahead and get this laid out here. Next I'll need a cutting board. So this is not my normal cutting board. You can see it's very thin. I can't find it, but this is the only resource I have, so I'm going to use this. Knives. Got to get some knives. Knives. All right. We're also going to need some marinade, chicken marinade. We'll do Caribbean jerk this time. Alright, what else do I need? I need a bowl to put the chicken in once I cut it up. Good size bowl. Should be plenty. Just to give you an idea, I have a family of 6 of us total. So typically what I make is about, not even thinking about the customer demand, but just so you know, it's about 6 pieces of chicken. Typically maybe a little bit more. Of course I got a large bowl, I got a huge bag of chicken, and I'm going to make as much as I can, because I have it all out and it's just more efficient for me to get it all done right now instead of making it to the family's demand. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get started here. Alright, we're going to use this knife. Let's go ahead and get some hands washed real quick. Here we have some chicken. Go ahead and get this rinsed. So my kids and I really don't like the fat, so we're going to treat that as a supplier defect. We're going to go ahead and take that off. And so that's the first thing I usually do when I work on my chicken, is get the fat off of it. Now we're going to put it in the fridge, which there's so much inventory in our kitchen fridge here. I got to bring it to the garage fridge, so I got to take a little bit of a walk, so I'll be back. And I'm back. So thank you for joining me at the Gemba. Hopefully you've seen some waste today, and I'm sure there's been plenty of opportunities for improvement. Next time we'll get into value stream analysis of what happened here, quantifying the waste, identifying it and quantifying it. And then in the next few videos, what we're going to do is teach you how to eliminate that waste. And we'll redo this process and see how much better it'll be. Thanks for joining. This concludes the follow-up to part 2 of my training. I hope you found my chicken marination case study insightful, and especially for identifying waste. If you struggled identifying waste in your personal and professional life, I think this example should help you see that now. So I encourage you to go back and identify waste again if you struggled. For video 3, I'm going to teach you how to document the waste and quantify it, and then create a plan to remove it. And we call this value stream analysis. Then in video 4, we'll talk about a tool called Success, which is what helps us eliminate that waste. And then video 5, we'll do a rapid improvement event on the chicken marination case study again, and we'll see how much we actually save. And I hope you're excited, especially excited as I am. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you very much for listening. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and don't be afraid to leave questions, comments, or suggestions. That's the only way I can get better at training. So until next time, God bless.